Rebellion or manipulation? A Dvar Torah for Parashat Korach. Parashat Korach brings the ideal world face-to-face with reality, or reality face-to-face with the ideal world, or something along those lines. Are you confused? Great, now I'm not alone. This year I've read Parashat Korach dozens of times, and I'm still not sure I can tell the story behind the story of this parasha. I'm hoping this might change after I write things down. What was Korach and his congregation's argument anyways? According to their words, there shouldn't be class differences, and Moshe and Aharon are just lording it over Hashem's congregation. In today's terms, Korach and his followers were seeking equality. Enough with the class distinctions. If this is indeed the story, perhaps from the Torah's perspective, the French Revolution should have ended differently. The revolution leaders should have been swallowed by the earth the moment they stood before Louis XVI, right? Moshe's response, or rather his responses, might tell a different story. He first falls on his face, then he proposes the incest test, he then addresses the sons of Levi, calls for Datan and Aviram, he gets angry, turns to God, and then re-invites Korach and his congregation to the incest test. Examining Moshe's actions reveals his perception of Korach and his congregation's motives. The initial response, he fell on his face, indicates that for a moment Moshe thought they might have a point. Therefore, contrary to the version in Rashi claiming that Moshe invites Korach and his congregation to an incest battle from the start, I think the appeal might be genuine. Take for yourself censors, Korach and his congregation, because perhaps all the congregation really are holy and God is among them. So let's check this out. Maybe everyone should be bringing incest. But even during this stage, Moshe's closing words show that he suspects Korach's motives to be different. Otherwise, the conclusion of the challenge stage is puzzling. You have gone too far, sons of Levi. The following stage points the substance of Moshe's suspicions. Here, he turns directly to Korach and tells him, "Your supposedly all for Israel claims don't really convince me. Is it not enough for you that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel, and now you seek the priesthood too? You didn't seem bothered when you were favorably distinguished from the children of Israel. Was the congregation not holy then? What happened? Could you have realized someone was elevated above you?" After addressing Korach, Moshe tries to understand Datan and Aviram's motives. Here too, one can distinguish between what they say and how Moshe understands them. First, they have a different accusation than Korach's congregation's collective one. Instead of all the congregation are holy, they switch to, "Is it a small thing that you have brought us out of the land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, that you should also lord yourself over us? You haven't improved our situation since we left Egypt. If anything, the opposite is true. Why do you think you have the right to give us commands?" Moshe's response is not directed toward Datan and Aviram, but to Hashem. What authority? Did I requisition their donkeys as a king has a right to requisition? Did I demand anyone serve me as a king demands? But more importantly, Moshe proves the Korachites have no substantial or unified claim. Korach is bothered that Aharon is the Kohen and not him. Datan and Aviram are protesting against Moshe's leadership. This mishmash of claims united to create an illusion of unity and high ideals. Moshe, having sobered from the glow of the false ideal, repeats the invitation to the incest test, but this time instead of "take for all of your censors," addressing the collective with a shared purpose, it's each man take his censor. Each one of you should offer his own false claim. There isn't a unified group of 250 censors against Aharon's single censor. 250 individual censors belong to different people, each representing a different false narrative. I guess Parashat Korach invites us to look beyond the surface of claims and protests. Also today, it teaches us the importance of identifying true motives and the danger of distinguishing personal interests beyond noble slogans. In our modern world, where information and claims flow rapidly, the lesson of Parashat Korach remains relevant. To examine carefully, listen attentively, and remember that sometimes what sounds like a call for justice might be a bold spot of truth. In loving memory of my beloved and heroic student, Amichai Shimon ben Batya Elishai, Rubin Hashem Yikom Damo. Dovi Holtz, one who loves Tanakh.